What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. So, I wanted to get on here and talk about this topic because my homie Brandon from Morgan Park High School, he spoke about it, right? And he spoke about the importance of boundaries being in place between your friend's woman or the women in his life, right? You know, when I say the women in his life, meaning his children's mother, his girlfriend, and his or his wife, right? And he was like, man, there's no way on God's green earth I'm going to be trying to add my homie's wife, my homie's girlfriend, my homie's, his children's mother on social media. I'm not doing nothing like that. But boundaries don't exist these days. And I believe those boundaries should exist, right? Not because your girl is untrustworthy, you know what I mean? And nothing like that. I just think it's some things you do out of respect, some things you don't do out of respect, right? For example, like I was raised off this old school law. I was raised by an older black man, older gentleman. If I gotta drop something off to my homie, like to his house, and he's not there and his woman just there, I'm not coming in the house. I really don't want to drop it off at the house unless I absolutely have to. I don't want to drop it off there unless if he ain't there, I really don't even want to drop it off if he ain't there at the house. But if I have to, I'm not coming in the house when he not there to give it to his woman. I'm handing it to her at the door. Old school law, right? I'm not adding me and your woman, me and my homie's woman not going to be friends on Facebook unless we all grew up together and I knew her beforehand. If I knew her, I was friends with her when we was coming up or something like that. I'm not adding her on Facebook just because she the homie girlfriend. I'm not adding my homie's baby mama on social media. I'm not doing that. It's just a certain line, a threshold that should not be crossed. And I was raised and brought up like that. That's how confusion gets eliminated. You know what I mean? Like, and I always bring up my father telling me stuff like this. Like when his homies would come spend a night sometime at the house, they'd come spend a night, kick it with him in the front room. They'd be sleeping out on the couches watching the games together, watching sports. And there would be time I would be at the house and he'll take me to school in the morning sometime. His homie not staying in the house with my stepmother while he taking me to go to school. His homie got to wake up too. He ain't, and it ain't that he didn't trust my stepmother. It ain't that he didn't trust his homie. It's just certain boundaries shouldn't be crossed. It's just certain laws. You know what I mean? Because what if she getting ready for work and she don't know he there and she walking through the house, she think I'm gone, and she walking through the house with a towel on or something and he see her. You know, it just like certain things should not just be, it shouldn't be occurring. I'm not adding my homie girlfriend, his woman, his baby mama on social media just because out of respect. You know, I'm not even, let me just say this too, because I've had situations where I was friends with my homie's girlfriend or his wife on Facebook before they got together because we grew up together, we went to high school together, we went to college together, etc., right? And once that, like, when he started dating her, I'm not loving her pictures, right? Unless it's a picture of her graduating from college or getting a PhD, getting a master's degree. I'm not loving, or if it's pictures with their kids in there, with her, with them and the kids, I'm not loving no individual pictures. I'm not liking no pictures being for real with you. Now, some people might think it's just social media. What's a big deal? Bro, it's to me, certain things matter. I remember one of my homies broke up with him and his girlfriend had broke up recently, right? And so I think one time I accidentally, you know how like, I don't know who was around me. Something happened where I accidentally liked a picture of her. And I unliked it because one, it was a picture of her in like a bathing suit. And I don't play them games, right? I unliked the picture. She messaged me and say, hey, I know me and such not together no more. Is that why you unlike my picture? Because you feel a way about us not being together. I said, oh no. You had a bathing suit on in this picture. As a man, I respect my homie even if y'all not together. I'm not liking no pictures of you with no bathing suit. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? I didn't love it. I accidentally liked the picture. Because to love it, you did that shit on purpose if you love the picture, right? I accidentally liked the picture. I'm like, nah, we ain't doing that, right? So it's just certain things I just don't do. You know what I mean? And I feel like that law is not, that rule is not practiced. Like, it's not practiced how it should be, I would say. It's just certain stuff I ain't doing. I'm not loving your girlfriend's pictures. I'm not liking your baby, loving your baby mama's pictures and stuff. If I knew the mother of your children, we was coming up, we all was already friends on Facebook together before y'all got together while we was coming up, right? I'm not loving her pictures and all of that. I'm just not doing it out of respect for my homie. Like, cause that stuff can create confusion. Now you looking at and your homie looking and wondering, are you attracted to his baby mama? Are you looking at her in lustful ways? Were you looking at her with that type of eye when they was together? Confusion gets created, dog. And I'm a person who likes to be absent of as much confusion in my life. I like to be absent of as much confusion in my life as possible. Because life can be confusing as it is, right? We got bills. We got to go to work. We trying to get rich in the midst of working for somebody else at times, and this shit don't add up. We trying to figure out why the rent keep going up, why the landlord keep raising the rent. All that time, we already got confusion in our life. I don't need confusion in relationship dynamics that are important to me, like my friends who are like my brothers. I'm not causing no rift with that because you want to love on the picture of the girl. You want to love on the picture of your friend, baby mama, his ex-girlfriend, his wife, his woman. I ain't playing them type of games, man. Like, again, I was raised by an old school father. So it's just certain things we don't do out of respect. Like again, my father would tell me, like, do you think he'd say this? Do you think my friends got Pam, that's my stepmother. You think my friends got Pam number? Hell no. What you need her number for? My father like, listen, man. You can call me. I answer this phone all the time. Call my phone. I'm going to answer. I'm going to call you back. You don't need my wife number to contact me. It just, you don't need that. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah. And shit, my dad had, back in the day, my dad had the pager. He like, I had a phone in the pager back in the day. You ain't hitting up. He talking about my mama too. You ain't hitting up your mama. They wasn't hitting up your mama to get in contact with me, calling her phone. You know what I mean? It's just certain ground rules of respect. I don't want my homie's wife number, girlfriend number, baby mama number. I don't want none of that. You know what I mean? Like, I remember, and let me tell you how the rules and regulations I have established within my friendships. Like, I remember one of my homie Matthew, I talk about Matthew a lot on this channel. Matthew's into photography, right? And he wanted to do a mother and daughter shoot for his photography. I have a daughter, with my ex-girlfriend, high school sweetheart, right? And so he wanted to take a photo shoot of her and my daughter at the time for like he wanted to do that for like his photography. He asked me, Matt, can I ask my daughter's mother, can I ask her them to be in a photography shoot for me? You know what I mean? You can come to the shoot and everything, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, so you can come and be present, all of that. I want to contact you and ask, is it okay? Before I even ask, can I do a photography shoot of your daughter and your daughter's mama? And he know my daughter mama. We went to school together. He know her, you know what I'm saying? But out of respect for me, he like, listen, I'm gonna ask you first. I don't care if y'all ain't together or nothing. I'm gonna ask you before I try to reach out to her about doing this photo shoot. And that's love. That's the type of respect I was raised and brought up on. I ain't finna contact my homie Matthew, been married before. I ain't finna contact his ex-wife about doing nothing without telling him if I gotta contact her for something. I'm gonna tell him. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you like this. I remember this one time, bro. I'm in college, right? And Mississippi Valley State had a bomb threat come across the university. And at the time, Mississippi Valley, they was moving too slow for me, wondering like with the plan for out-of-state students. A lot of the kids in Mississippi Valley, they from Memphis, from Mississippi, you know what I mean? They from Georgia, Tennessee, they can drive, go home, all of that. I'm from Chicago. I ain't had no car. You know what I mean? So a girl who I worked with in the bookstore, she told me, well, Mac, you ain't got nowhere to go. You can come to my spot, right? And stay in my house. Now, mind you, she's the ex-girlfriend of one of my homies that I made. Now, I knew her before I knew him. I met him through her, right? Through the girl I'm talking about. But out of respect, I called him and said, hey, bro, I don't have anywhere to go. I know you're not in town. You're away doing drill this weekend because he was in the Army. I say, I'm going to stay at her house. I'm just letting you know I'm going to be there. You know what I mean? I'm just letting you know I'm going to your ex-girlfriend's house because I have nowhere else to go, bro. I have nowhere else to go. Valley taking too long for these plans. You know what I mean? I have nowhere else to go. You know me. You know I ain't know nothing. I just need somewhere to crash my head right now. He say, all love, bro. I know the type of person you are. But I wasn't going to let him find out I'm staying at her house because of the bomb threat. And he don't know. At the time, I was new. I ain't had nobody. I wasn't kicking it with nobody at Valley, no girl to stay with it, nothing like that. Everybody had really left campus at that point. I already went home. I'm lingering around trying to see what Valley was going to do. She told me you could stay with me. And I had to tell my homie, hey, your ex-girlfriend, she was in a new relationship at the time. But I still told her, hey, I'm staying over here with her. I have nowhere else to go, bro, and you're not around. He all love, bro. All love, man. I'm going to call in and check in on you. Cool. You know what I mean? And I only did that because I had nowhere else to go. I didn't have no family down there, nothing. You know what I mean? And anybody else that I could stay with had already gone. There was only two other people. They had already gone home hours and hours away because I'm sitting trying to see what's going to happen with Mississippi Valley. So boundaries don't exist no more, and I think it should. You know what I mean? Like certain conversations need to be had if you got to do something. If you got to go through your man's woman to ask something, you got to talk to your homie. You got to go through his ex-girlfriend and children, the mother of his children. You got to ask your homie. And I ain't add none of my homies' girlfriends and wives and baby mamas on social media if we weren't already friends before they got together, or we didn't have a rapport. We not friends, or you know what I mean, growing up. I ain't doing that. Because again, it just creates a window for like confusion. I don't got that type of time. I don't got that type of time for that type of confusion in my life. And so I think boundaries should be established with you and your homies, the women in your homie's life. Like when I say the women in his life, again, like his children's mother, his woman, his girlfriend, or his wife, whatever. You got to establish them boundaries. I ain't got their phone numbers, can call them all willy-nilly at free will. And I ain't got none of their numbers. I ain't doing that. You know, I ain't loving no pictures of them, liking no pictures of them and all of that. Liking all these pictures. We ain't doing that. You know, so I think a code should be reestablished amongst men and their homies and the women in their homies' life. And they man, they friends and all. Yeah, I ain't doing that. Because I can never create a scenario where it even looks like I'm trying to betray a friend who I call a brother. And that's it. That's all, man. Machiavelli Mills TV. I'm gone. Peace.